Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, January 23rd. I'm Denise Douglas. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, topping our news tonight, there was a shakeup at DuVal High School having to do with the grade-changing controversy. The school's principal, assistant principal, and other staffers have been removed from their positions. The changes come in light of a grade and graduation audit that was done last year. According to the school district, evidence from the report shows some staff, quote, made inappropriate decisions that impacted the graduation process. Spokesman John White says that the district is moving to ensure that there is academic integrity.
Some staffing changes have been made at DuVal for violations of school system policy and procedure as it comes to grade changes and graduation. We want to make sure that all students are prepared and that we are monitoring effectively.
And a letter was sent home to parents to this effect?
Absolutely. So the letter went home yesterday to the community to make sure they were aware of the staffing changes.
Well, it's exactly what we said would happen. And that is, I was very pleased that the audit that was done showed that Dr. Maxwell and his staff had nothing to do with any of the grade changes at all. And what they did was they said, we're going to investigate it. If we find wrongdoing, we're going to immediately let those folks go. And because we want to make sure that parents understand that we want a safe place for our children to go, but also we want to make sure that the academic they receive is top quality. And so I'm proud of the fact that he made the tough decisions.
A support team from the central office has been sent to DuVal to provide support. In addition, John Brooks will serve as acting principal for the rest of the school year. Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett says his jurisdiction has the best chance in the region for luring Amazon to our area. You may recall the online retailer put out its short list of 20 finalists to house its second headquarters. Leggett says Montgomery County's workforce, educational system, and infrastructure make a compelling case.
Well, first of all, if Amazon happens to be in Montgomery County, it's not only going to help Montgomery County, it will help the entire state of Maryland. We are, I continue to say, the economic engine of the state of Maryland. If jobs come here at the level that we're talking about, it will help people in Queensland, Dorchester, everywhere in the entire state of Maryland will benefit as well. Governor Hogan and I have a very good relationship. He knows that I'm a very proud Democrat. He knows that Rashawn is my former student. And so I think that he somewhat expects this. I think this is going to be a competitive race. But I believe very sincerely that we are going to make a very strong effort, and the governor recognizes that politics aside, that Amazon is something that we very, very much want for the state, because it would be in all of our interest to have it here in Montgomery County.
Yesterday, Governor Larry Hogan announced a $5 billion incentive package aimed at getting Amazon. A final decision is expected sometime this year. Several Prince George's County Council members have signed on to a letter to try and stop a pipeline that would cut through Maryland. It would carry gas from fracking in a pipe across the Potomac River from Pennsylvania and into West Virginia. In the letter to Governor Larry Hogan, council members say there are a number of risks with the project, including the potential for spills and stormwater pollution. They want Hogan to deny the permit.
And so let's be consistent and say to TransCanada, we don't allow fracking here, and nor do we want your frack gas crossing this sensitive area, the Potomac River, which is kind of the jewel of the state of Maryland in terms of rivers and its health, provides drinking water for a lot of the state, and we don't want to risk a spill or an accident of any kind. And so we're asking you to deny the request for this permit, and that's what this letter is all about.
Now, that letter that she's referring to is expected to be sent to the governor soon. Could the Maglev high-speed train project be closer to getting the green light? Currently, the environmental impact statement is moving forward. 3 sites, 2 along the Baltimore-Washington Parkway and 1 along the Amtrak line, are under consideration as part of that study. Councilman Todd Turner, who opposes the Maglev, says he and other council members have expressed concern about the impact that the project would have on the environment and the quality of life in the community. In turn, lawmakers in Annapolis are looking at legislation to address those issues.
What's happening now is the state legislature is considering legislation to address some of those issues. So on today's Rules and General Assembly Committee, we had a couple of the local bills that deal with notification and agreements if the county were to dispose of any land for the purposes of Maglev. So what we're going to try to do is meet with the sponsor of the bill, tell her about what our processes are, because sometimes they put in bills without understanding the full process of what we have to go through to dispose of county land, and then see if there's an opportunity to do something with the bill as part of that process.
As you know, there have been a number of public meetings on this issue. There will be another one on Saturday, January 27th in Bladensburg at the Community Center Gym from 11 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon.